Madison officer is recovering after being dragged by a vehicle while trying to make an arrest. And after ripping through Florida's southwest coast, Ian is making his way across the state and into the Atlantic, where it could strengthen once again. This is News 3 Now at noon. Good afternoon, I'm Mark Kane. A Madison police officer was not seriously hurt after being dragged by a vehicle while trying to arrest a man. Police say the officer saw the wanted man walk into a Quick Trip on Northport Drive just before 7:40 last night. The officer went into the store to arrest the man, but he resisted with the help of another man. During the struggle, the officer was dragged in the parking lot by the fleeing vehicle. The wanted man was eventually arrested. Police are still looking for the second man. A fraternity house in downtown Madison was damaged after a fire pit was left unattended. It happened at a house on Langdon Street yesterday afternoon. Witnesses reported seeing flames and smoke at the back of the home. Investigators found an outdoor fire pit with smoldering debris sitting on a flat roof deck. The wood underneath the pit was reportedly charred. No one was hurt, and the fire did not spread to inside the house. Let's head to the weather center now. Meteorologist Chris Reese has a look at your certified most accurate forecast. A chilly start to the day.
Yeah, it was chilly, but don't you love a milky sky right now? A beautiful, fair weather afternoon for us is getting ready to set up shop right here in Madison. This is a live look to the west towards Blue Mound from your Edgewater Tower camera. Get this, our current conditions, we're sitting at 57 right now. Winds are out of the south at about 3 miles per hour. Dew points are still into the 40s. As you look ahead, the rest of today, we're going to see things warm up into the low 60s for your highs this afternoon. A couple passing clouds here and there, but we will stay dry. Now, the big weather story, everyone's been talking about this one. It is what is now Tropical Storm Ian. It's really been wreaking a lot of havoc over Florida, but here's one thing I want to point out to you. Look at this center of circulation right here. It is now back over open water, and one of the things that made me say, oh shoot, just a moment ago, it is now strengthened once again. Winds earlier this morning were sustained at 60 and 65 miles per hour. Now I'm seeing those winds at 70 miles per hour. So if Ian is able to strengthen again, it would have the potential to become a Category 1 hurricane, and that is now the expectation. A Category 1 hurricane that at this time tomorrow would be making landfall right along the South Carolina coastline, right into Charleston. And once again, we have to be concerned about storm surge, which has been the big issue thus far. This is when the wind brings in that water from the ocean and floods a lot of those inland areas. We're out of time for now, but coming up in a bit, I'll really explain what storm surge is and why it was so devastating across Florida.
All right, Chris, thank you. President Joe Biden is speaking right now about the hurricane's impact. Let's listen in.
By lost property. I've also spoken with mayors across the state, both Republican and Democrat, and I've told them the same thing. We are here. Whether you need, and whatever you need, I indicated to call me directly at the White House. They know how to do that. And we're going to do everything we can to provide whatever they need. We've dispatched over 1,000 FEMA personnel and prepositioned major federal capacities and capabilities and supplies. That includes millions of liters of water, millions of meals, and hundreds of generators. I deployed dozens of search and rescue teams, along with high water vehicles and rescue helicopters to help get survivors to safety. Thousands of National Guard members have been activated. And in my direction, the Department of Defense is providing surge capacity on multiple fronts in support of FEMA's efforts. I also want to say again to everyone in Ian's path, the danger is real. To state the obvious, please obey all warnings and directions from emergency officials. And while the water is receding, don't go outside unless you absolutely have to. It's risky for you, and it impedes first responders from doing their job. I also want to say again to the oil and gas executives, do not use this storm as an excuse to raise gasoline prices or gouge the American public. The price of oil has dropped in recent weeks. The price of gas should be going down as rapidly. It's not. My experts inform me the production of only about 160,000 barrels a day has been impacted by this storm. That's less than 2% of our country's daily production. Its small and temporary impact on oil production provides no excuse for price increases at the pump, period. If a gas station companies try to use this storm to raise prices, I'm going to ask officials to look into whether or not price gouging is going on. America's watching, and the industry should do the right thing. I expect them to do the right thing. And while we're seeing
that was President Biden speaking about how the government is going to help Florida residents impacted by the hurricane. And after making landfall as a devastating Category 4 Hurricane, Ian is tracking across Florida as a tropical storm. Governor Ron DeSantis called the storm the biggest flood event the state's southwest region has ever seen. Kristen Benavides has the latest from Orlando.
With many streets in Kissimmee, Florida, underwater, first responders are helping flood victims reach higher ground.
I feel a lot better. My brother just finished getting rescued.
Hundreds of people who decided to ride out the storm are believed to be trapped in their homes, waiting for assistance.
Those who are in need of life support right now, help is on the way.
Hurricane Ian slammed the shore Wednesday afternoon along Florida's southwest coast, dealing a direct blow to Fort Myers. Winds hit 150 miles per hour, and water quickly overwhelmed block after block. Ian wiped out a section of the causeway to Sanibel Island and left behind massive flooding.
Are you guys okay?
Naples was also hit hard. Cell phone video shows firefighters wading through chest-deep water to rescue one woman. Ian is now taking aim at Florida's east coast. The storm has weakened, but still packs plenty of power.
This storm is having broad impacts across the state, and some of the flooding you're going to see in areas hundreds of miles from where this made landfall are going to set records.
This was the scene in St. Augustine early this morning. The winds were whipping, heavy rain was falling, and conditions are expected to get worse as the day goes on. Daytona Beach is also bracing for flash floods and high winds before Ian heads out to sea again. Forecasters say the storm could strengthen over water and is expected to make landfall for a third time, possibly near Charleston, South Carolina. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Orlando, Florida.
And over 2 million people began today with no power, and that number could go up as the day goes on. A news station in Fort Myers, Florida had to stop broadcasting after their studio flooded. WISC-TV meteorologist Matt DeVitt posted the video to social media showing water from Ian's storm surge inside the building. Cameras and other broadcasting equipment were in the water, making it unsafe to continue broadcasting. Much of the staff was also in the dark after the newsroom lost power. Utility workers here in Madison headed down to Florida early this morning. They'll be spending the next few weeks helping people recover from the storm. The crew is made up of around 40 line workers from 22 Wisconsin communities. Workers expect to do a wide range of work, including clearing trees and debris, replacing and restringing electrical poles. Now, this isn't the first time Wisconsin crews traveled to Florida. Crews also supported East Coast residents following Hurricane Irma 5 years ago. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. What the White House is warning oil and gas companies not to do in the wake of the hurricane. Plus, Amazon is raising starting pay for several positions. Details coming up in the Money Watch.
You're watching News 3 Now at noon.
It's the Portage Furniture Store's anniversary sale on now with a huge in-stock inventory of top brands for every room in your home with Certa-Queen mattresses from $2.99 and always free delivery. The Portage Furniture Store's anniversary sale. Don't miss it.
Protecting your cargo is a must because most times it's more than just cargo. It's the memories, friendships, and adventures that are built with it. The late nights and early mornings. The races and renovations. From hitches to ratchet straps and everything in between, we've got what you need to get your cargo there safely. Secure your passion with 11% off Tow Smart, Smart Straps, and Cargo Smart products at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
One doesn't usually think of robots when you think about agriculture, but Rank Seed does. Rank is rooted in technology, striving to bring the best products to their customers. From DNA-level development of genetics and traits, GPS-linked assessment of yield and performance, to gravity tables and color sorters, to make sure Rank has the highest germination and the purest seed. Rank couples its customer-friendly service with the latest technologies needed to bring the best products to its farmers. From research to results, Rank Seed is rooted in technology.
RHD Plumbing has the most reliable professionals in the industry. With honesty you can trust to deliver quality products and workmanship, dedicated to being the best. RHD Plumbing now offers complete bathroom and kitchen remodeling, the best plumbers, and everything else you need to finish your dream project. For your home or business, get the job done right the first time with no surprises with the reliable, honest, and dedicated plumbing professionals of RHD Plumbing, proud partner of the Green Bay Packers.
New Astapro Allergy, now available without a prescription. Astapro is the first and only 24-hour storage-free spray. While other allergy sprays take hours, Astapro starts working in 30 minutes. So you can Astapro and go.
You can get your smile back today. At Affordable Dentures and Implants, we make high-quality tooth replacement affordable for everyone. So whether it's a single tooth, full dentures, or life-changing dental implants, we have an experienced dentist who can help you go ahead and smile. Click or call to schedule your new smile consultation today.
Go ahead and smile.
It's the Portage Furniture Store's anniversary sale on now, with a huge in-stock inventory of top brands for every room in your home, with Lazy Boy recliners from $3.99 and always free delivery. The Portage Furniture Store's anniversary sale. Don't miss it.
As Hurricane Ian lashed Florida's southwest coast, President Biden warned oil and gas companies not to use the storm as an excuse to raise prices. The president said if it happens, he'll ask federal officials to determine, quote, whether price gouging is going on. According to AAA, Florida's statewide average for gasoline prices barely budged from a week ago, hovering just under $3.40 a gallon. A spokesperson for the American Petroleum Institute, an oil industry group, said prices are affected by market forces like supply and demand, not by individual companies. Survivors and family members of several of those killed in the mass shooting at a Highland Park, Illinois Independence Day parade are suing gunmaker Smith & Wesson. They filed 11 lawsuits against the manufacturer of the rifle used in the attack, accusing the company of illegally targeting its ads at young men at risk of committing mass violence. 7 people were killed and dozens were injured in the rampage last July 4th. Smith & Wesson did not immediately respond to messages seeking comment about the lawsuit. Amazon announced it's raising its average starting pay for warehouse and transportation workers by about $1 to more than $19 an hour. The move comes as the online retail giant faces a tight labor market ahead of the holiday shopping season. Beginning next month, so-called frontline workers would earn between $16 and $26 an hour. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Dan Lieberman. Let's check Wall Street at the noon hour. The Dow Industrial is down 464 points. The NASDAQ down 331. The S&P 500 down 77. Pam has today's egg prices next, and Chris has the latest forecast. And later on Live at 4, we'll sit down with one of our own. News 3 photojournalist Mark Schilling shows us how he's helping fill a desperate need for school bus drivers in southern Wisconsin. That's at 4.
It's Furniture and Appliance Mart's scratch-off promotion. Come in for your scratch card worth up to $5,000. Plus, buy any LG washer and get the dryer free. Plus, 60-month special financing. Plus, fast delivery at Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley off the Beltline in East Springs Drive.
I worked on the force for 30 years. I've seen plenty of politicians, but Mandela, he's the real deal. Mandela doesn't want to defund the police. He's very supportive of law enforcement, and I know his objective is to make every community in the state of Wisconsin better. I trust him to get the resources that we need to keep people safe and to reduce crime in the first place. As a retired cop, I want someone like Mandela. Mandela is the right guy for the job.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Nothing beats a great night's sleep on a new Tempur-Pedic mattress from Steinhoffels. Tempur-Pedic is designed to make aches and pains a thing of the past by relieving pressure points and supporting the body as no other mattress can. Queen Tempur-Pedic start at just $24.49. Plus, get $300 in Steinhoffels cash. You can rest easy when you take advantage of Steinhoffels special financing. Isn't it time you got a great night's sleep? Relax. It's Steinhoffels.
Mass shootings, school shootings, and violent crime are on the rise, and Ron Johnson is making things worse. He abandoned law enforcement, voting against funding for the police, preventing local departments from hiring more officers, but supported flooding our streets with guns and making it easier for violent criminals and domestic abusers to get them. Ron Johnson is failing to keep us safe. Everytown for Gun Safety Victory Fund is responsible for the content of this ad.
The Ashley stores of Madison are hosting the biggest warehouse liquidation sale ever, and both stores are packed with deals. Find massive savings and more. You can save more than 90% off. Everything must go at both Madison area Ashley stores.
Is there a doctor in the house? Please welcome Chandra Wilson. We get into all things grave. You can't, block a blessing. Come join the fun of the Jennifer Hudson Show.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. A local woman's car stolen while at a dealership for repairs.
They took it off-roading.
But the dealer's insurance refuses to cover the damage.
It's crazy and it's wrong.
Leah Linscheid answers a call for action Sunday on News 3 Now at 10. The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Let's check in now with Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report on this Thursday. How are you?
Not bad, not bad. I'm kind of waiting to see after the frosty, freezy kind of morning. We'll probably start to see more colors popping up around Wisconsin. It'll be beautiful for all those international guests and folks that we've got coming in next week for World Dairy Expo. We'll be keeping you up to date on all the details out at the show. Again, details are what we're kind of watching for. I broke the story yesterday thanks to the help of a lot of our dairy farmers in the Channel 3 viewing area. Foremost Farms USA, headquartered in Baraboo, is a dairy cooperative. They sent out a letter to their members that said basically they are going to be docked 90 cents a hundredweight on their September milk production, and from that day moving forward. The cooperative said that it's because of increased costs, including labor, supply chain disruptions, that 90 cents a hundredweight is needed. I talked with Rachel Schrader, who is a dairy farmer in Watertown. She and her dad, Jim McNamara, are milking 90 cows, farming about 500 acres. So they're truly your family farm, and she said this is going to be very devastating to their bottom line. She said everybody's costs of production have gone up, and she said it's not that they don't have confidence in the management at Foremost Farms USA. She said she knows that they've got good contracts in place and that they're doing a good job to make sure the cooperative's in a good space, but she kind of bristled at the point that they sent out a letter instead of having these kinds of conversations a little bit more face-to-face. She said the other thing that consumers have to realize is today there's no other place to go. They're kind of over a barrel. All milk plants are full as far as capacity is concerned. Really not many options for those dairy farmers to turn to. Again, like we said, I've got the complete conversation with Rachel up on my website, MidwestFarmReport.com. Fabulous Farm Babe on Facebook if you want to take a look. We did ask for comment from Foremost Farms, and they decided they didn't want to be involved in the conversation. Barrel cheese today in Chicago up another 4.5 at $2.24.5. 40-pound block cheese down 2 1/4 at $1.96 3/4. Today, it looks like the butter took a bit of a breath, Mark, down 2 cents to $3.14.5 per pound. So there we go. But a lot of that conversation about Foremost Farms, no doubt, going to leak over into World Dairy Expo conversations next week.
Yeah, that's big news, that's for sure. All right, Pam, thank you. Speaking of big news, here's Chris with the forecast and a look at the storm surge.
Yeah, we're getting ready to talk about storm surge, really from, again, Ian, as this center of circulation now continues to work its way out over the coastline of the Atlantic after Florida. But that being said, Ian, now very close to being a Category 1 hurricane again. And the expectation is that as we go through the next 24 hours, this Category 1 hurricane will work its way towards the coastline of South Carolina, perhaps a direct hit in Charleston. Now, if you're familiar with Charleston, you have family there, you have property there. One of the things you know is that if you cry hard enough, it'll flood in downtown Charleston. So we're certainly looking at a flooding situation throughout the coastline of Charleston. But then as this travels inland, eventually weakening, you're talking about a lot of rain for the Appalachian Mountains, parts of the Carolinas, especially the hill country there, in addition to the rainfall on the low country. So what this means for us is that we begin to see quite a bit of rainfall total. Still about 5 inches of rain being likely throughout parts of Daytona Beach. But then you work your way towards the Carolinas. This is where as much as 4 to 7 inches of rainfall will be possible. So a big flood situation there. I want to talk about storm surge again. This is why we had the big damage that we saw in Florida. First things first, you've got your winds coming onshore. The ocean level rises with the storm. All of that gets pushed in. 3 feet storm surge, you may not notice much, but as you approach 12 feet, this is where homes are underwater. Television stations are being evacuated and they're going off air due to power outages. That's what we've seen in Florida so far. A lot of their storm surge was upwards of 12 feet, if not higher. Some good news. All the frost advisories and freeze warnings, those are now done at this point. Temperatures have warmed up. We're into the 50s now. Some spots have made it into the 60s. 61 in Janesville, 62 for Lone Rock. Boscobel, you're hanging out at 60 degrees as well. It's comfortable. A little bit warmer than it was out there yesterday, but certainly it is a beautiful look. Winds are out of the south at 3 miles per hour for us now. That southerly wind is part of why we won't be as cool as we start to move towards your overnight hours. I expect us to top out at 62. We'll start to slide things right back down. It's now 9, 10 o'clock. Notice how we start to level out into the upper 40s. It'll be a slow fall, but I expect us to go down to about 40 for overnight lows. Some periods of passing cloud cover throughout the day as well, but for the most part, we do stay dry. Doppler track is quiet for us at the moment, staying quiet for us. A couple of showers throughout parts of northern Minnesota. Those showers stay to the north and will not be of any impact for us, so that's the good news there. This is 4 o'clock. That's where temperatures are most likely to be into the 60s. The farther you are to the west, they're just a little bit warmer. The driftless region just has that effect on you. We get towards the overnight hours tonight. This is where your temperatures do drop down into the 40s. A couple of upper 30s can't be ruled out. And then we'll get warmer towards tomorrow. That being said, for the rest of today, enjoy that sunshine and partly cloudy skies, Dane County. We'll start to clear things out in the Madison Metro overnight tonight. Again, upper 30s, low 40s for your overnight lows. Tomorrow, we're just a little bit warmer with temperatures that'll top out into the mid, maybe a couple of upper 60s as well. Here's where the celebration comes in. After 8 weekends in a row of rain, no rain is expected this weekend. In fact, the only rain I'm expecting are the tears of joy from everyone who gets to get outside and enjoy the sunny weekend that we are expecting. Temperatures will be into the upper 60s, and there's a lot more of those 60s. You look in the week ahead, and we're going to see 60s for quite some time.
Nice stretch coming up, that's for sure.
Yes, it is.
All right, Chris, thank you. A dry weekend. We'll see. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Love lasagna, but you don't make it as often as you'd like because it's just too time consuming? Guess what? With today's recipe, that'll never be your excuse again.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Brenna today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
Ron Johnson's at it again, lying about my taxes. Let's be clear, my taxes are paid in full, but there were times I was getting by on peanut butter sandwiches. And that's why I support a tax cut for the middle class. Put more money in your pockets, because I know how hard you work. But Johnson used his Senate seat to write a loophole that gave huge tax cuts to himself and his biggest donors, leaving us with crumbs. And that's how we get left behind. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
With eye care, the medicine you need may cost less than ever before. New in 2022, you pay a $0 copay for all of your Medicare-eligible Part D drugs up to the coverage gap. Then your cost will be the typical extra help copay amount. You'll also receive up to $2,500 in dental benefits and $300 in vision benefits. Call the Eye Care Benefits Helpline for a free consultation to get all the benefits you're entitled to. Rest easy. Eye Care is looking out for you and your health.
Get up and go!
You heard the jingle man, Wisconsin. That means it's time to get a versatile, rugged, athletic SUV that makes you feel like you just won a title. Again. Honda was just crowned KBB.com's best value brand for the 7th year in a row. So get up and go to your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin. Bring it home, Songbird.
Get up and go!
The radical left hate America and riot in our streets. They indoctrinate our children to hate America, stoking fear and envy with their lies and deceptions. Their radical woke agenda and divisive politics are tearing our country apart. Here's Mandela Barnes.
The founder of this nation, awful.
Mandela Barnes is a radical leftist. He supports their woke agenda that's causing you and your family so much pain.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Welcome to Oakmont Senior Community in Verona. Active seniors 55 plus will enjoy our new luxury apartments, professionally managed by award-winning Attic Angel Community. Call Brenna today for a tour and reserve your place at Oakmont.
I don't know about you, but I love lasagna. There's something about the combo of the curly edge noodles, the ricotta cheese, and the cooked sausage that just makes me smile. The problem is, I don't always have time to make it. So rather than layering all those ingredients, we came up with an all-in-one skillet version that's super easy and it's to die for. Let me show you. We start by cooking our lasagna noodles just like normal, except instead of leaving them whole, we break them up into large pieces. Once they're tender, we drain them. While they drain, we cook up a good amount of Italian sausage that we remove from its casing. To that, we add our drained noodles, along with a jar of spaghetti sauce, some ricotta cheese, shredded mozzarella, and a bit of Parmesan, and of course, a few spices. All we need to do now is give it a good stir, and once everything is heated through, it's done. There you have it. Everything you love about lasagna without all the work of layering it. Serve it with a salad and some crusty Italian bread for extra yumminess. If you want the recipe for our quick lasagna toss, all you need to do is visit our website. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a tasty shortcut way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
It's time to introduce you to our pets of the week. Dane County Humane Society would like you to meet Ola, Shurshu, and Ufu. It's rabbit siblings. They enjoy spending time with other rabbits and nibbling on veggies. The three are very friendly, but do not have to be adopted together. The siblings have been at the Humane Society for a bit, so their adoption fees have been reduced to $30 each. Day camps are back. Dane County Humane Society will be hosting Camp Paw Print for children ages 7 to 12 when school is on break during the fall and winter. All day camps include a shelter tour, animal interactions, either an educational lesson or a visit from a guest speaker, and projects. Each session will be different, so you can sign up for multiple camps. To learn more and register, go to giveshelter.org/camp. And last week's pet, Turkey the cat, has been adopted. That's good news. If you're interested in adopting the rabbits, checking out all the other animals at the Dane County Humane Society, go to giveshelter.org. And here's Chris with one final check of the forecast.
Just glad someone was able to take the time to gobble up Turkey the cat and take him home. So that's some good news there. We are looking at some sunshine for the rest of today. Temperatures top out right around 62, 65 for tomorrow. I can't rule out some patchy fog in the morning, by the way, but we're going to be warmer in the morning. Temperatures will be around 40.
Gobble that up. Thank you, Chris. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. In the meantime, have a great afternoon.